Hello everybody. Yeah, it's crazy because I was putting together something else, but now there's breaking news on other things. I don't know if anybody's even getting the link though. Usually people are chatting away when it doesn't look like anybody's even here. I'll wait. Oh, there you go. Yeah, too much crap going on today, man. This is crazy. I have like 4 days worth of crap. You know, just different cases all over the place. It's unreal. Okay, so first off, it appears that there might be some breaking news in the Dilly case, right? Yeah, Harley Dilly, all right? Yeah, so I was looking at, somebody on Facebook sent me a message. It says, we are getting multiple messages in regards to the law enforcement presence at the Dilly residence. We do not cover police scanner, maybe, frequency, as it is not Erie County. Therefore, we only know as much as you do at this time. As more info becomes available, we will update this post with all the details we obtain. Update unconfirmed reports that Harley's body has been found in an abandoned house across the street from his residence. I mean, that's crazy, right? Hey, thanks, Shelly Ann. I really appreciate it. So that was from the Erie County Scanner Uncensored webpage. Let's see. So let me go. I'm gonna go to our map of Harley, you know, where he lives and everything. Let me get it in here. Dilly. That right there, Harley Dilly, and his home. So let's see if we can just look right across the street. I don't know which one of these is abandoned. You know, maybe that little thing right there. I don't know. I wonder if that's considered just a tiny little home right there. I don't know. But he lives in that house that we were just looking at. Or lived, I guess, if he's not alive. So they live in this house right here. And apparently across the street, he was found in an abandoned home. So, I don't know. I mean, this is just really early reporting on it. It doesn't sound like it's 100% accurate. Here's that website right here. Darrow Road closed. Hold on. Now I gotta go back to where I was. What's the name of this road right here? 5th Street. Yeah, so I don't know for sure. That's just what their report quickly said, was it an abandoned house across the street. What's interesting, when you look at this picture right here, this house right here isn't even there anymore. This is gone. Right? I mean, let me go right down the street view and we'll just turn to the left as it hits the ground and look. And that's not there at that time. So actually, it could be, this looks like an old street view, so perhaps that was built since then. It's hard to say. This is from 2015. That street view looked old, like 2008-ish. Hey, thank you guys for becoming members. Angel, Don Moyer, and Mimi. Appreciate it. Yeah, now you guys have access to the those icons. Or emojis, I guess they're called. Yeah, so that seems to be a possible breaking news that they've found Harley Dilly's body. I can't say for sure. I'm just saying it's being reported out there on some websites. Okay? So that's all I can say. Okay, don't go, oh, you're wrong, Dre, you were wrong, because I don't really know. It was just something that was sent to me. Now check this crap out. Actually, hold on, let me. This is wild. The serial killer story in the post is incredibly interesting. Okay, but I got to get through this first here. And the person on Facebook, his name's Catherine, all right? And she sent me another link, and this one's wild here. This is actually in the Rexburg case. This is actually the body camera of when they found Charles Vallow's body in the house after he was shot by Alex. I mean, isn't that the craziest thing you've ever seen? So here we go. Now we're actually able to see this. Now what I'll probably do is I'll take this footage and then turn it so it's easier to look at. The guy's camera is turned.
Come out this way, man. You know, no weapons?
Yeah, like way tons of crime nets.
I'm gonna have you have a seat right here on the curb.
So this is gonna be Alex walking by. That's Alex right there.
Just have a seat right there. Let's get FD in here.
Yeah.
Why'd they blur that out?
Seat secure. We got the gentleman out. Have fire rolling. Chandler Police Department. Anybody inside? Make yourself known.
Now look at this. Does anybody even live there? I mean, what's going on here? Now look at, he's right there on the ground. Oh. And that's Charles Vallow right there. Hold on, let me check something out really fast. Okay, you can see his feet in the mirror there. Yeah, it's like, did they just move there, or? God, it's really weird.
We got one subject down, apparent gunshot wounds to the chest.
This is on Justin Lum, Fox 10, Phoenix. Oh, there's a gun on the ground right there. You see that? Shoot. God damn it. Everybody's commenting right now. Right there on the ground. Hold on. I think that's the gun right there, right? Yep. Where's the bat?
He's right here in the living room. Firearm's gonna be in the front door, in the front bedroom, laying on the ground next to a case.
God, it just seems so sterile in there. It's weird. I don't know what you're saying, Steven. I'm just doing my show.
We didn't have any of that as of right now.
This happened right here, fellas?
I believe so.
Oh, they're trying
The
CPR.
firearms in the other room here. What's up? I can't. What you said?
We just did a sweep for nobody else.
Yeah, I just did.
Fire over there.
Yep. I'm gonna go see if we can get this. You want to stay in here? I'll see if I get this guy's info.
Make sure nobody else is present. 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, something like that.
Did you get the guy inside's name?
No, I haven't got any.
So that's Alex right there.
Charles is the husband of the occupants here. But I guess he lives in where?
You know his date of birth? He's from Houston.
Is this vehicle here? How did he get here?
Is it here from Texas?
No, that's my sister's car. I think he came in a rental car. I think my sister's in it.
I think your sister's in the rental car.
One Paul 18. The subject that's been shot is.
Why can't we hear this part?
So the guy that got this.
Are you on speaker?
That's negative. About 2 minutes out.
Copy, several gunshot wounds.
And by the way,
There's a couple of shell cases.
Yeah.
behind it.
just so you can see it on the screen, Kay just sent me the same video. The sister of Charles.
Probably is.
Attack 3 1 time.
Shot him many times.
What's the cards?
I'm sorry.
Shot him many times, they said.
And that's all we got because he's from Texas.
Okay.
So we don't really know much else about it.
So, sir, what I have is, there's an entrance.
I'm gonna see if there's a wallet or something in here, bro.
Oh boy, listen. Alex is dead now. Okay, this happened in July, and then a day after they exhumed Tammy Vallow's body, who is Chad Vallow's wife, he was found dead with his mouth foaming, and he was going the bathroom all over the place. I think that was on December 12th. December 11th was when they exhumed Tammy Vallow's body. Okay, and he had just gotten married 2 weeks prior to another cult member. And yes, I'll call it a cult.
I would imagine he was probably staying in this room over here. I would think.
Wow. Jeez. It's like he was just there waiting for a moment or something.
Anything of interest, just throw cards on it so we can remember to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for like a fucking wallet or something that's got this guy's. Yeah, something because we got nothing, man.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we're over. I don't know if they're going to transport them.
Because it sounds like dude's like a friend of the family or something.
Well, he said brother-in-law.
I'm going off.
Wow. Okay, so that was it. What I'll do is I'll probably edit that a little bit and see if I can get it. I'll orient it so it's correctly oriented to the ground. You know, I hate watching stuff at an angle. It's hard to make out what. I mean, you can see what's going on, but it does something to your brain. Okay. So weird, a lot of crazy stuff going on, and like I just said a minute ago, Kay just sent me a message, and that is, you know, the sister of Charles, and wanted me to see it. It'd be hard for her to see that, I'm sure. What do you mean? What do you mean? Wonder if any glass was broken by Charles? What does that mean? I don't understand that question, or even the thought. He wasn't the one that shot. It was Alex who shot the gun. Charles was just shot twice in the chest and fell to the ground, as you can see on the video there. All right. So later on, I'm going to have to, I'll bring this up again. I'm going to record it and then fix the orientation, and then we'll go back over that. Maybe there'll be some more information on Harley Dilly, and then the other case of God. Hell, I can't even remember their freaking names anymore. It's just way too much stuff just happened. It's unbelievable. The other case is the Todd family. Right. Yeah, it's like, man. That one, we're just still waiting on confirmation. They haven't really said anything yet. Maybe they have in the last 5 minutes, but I didn't catch it because I'm doing this. Yeah, so they may have found Harvey Dilly's body, the kid that went missing when he was apparently on his way to school. Okay, and then also, and he has a couple YouTube channels. And then also, we just played Charles Vallow when he was killed by Alex. They actually show the body cam of the police arriving on scene. It just seemed so sterile and quiet. It was weird. Yeah, what would Channel 19 mean to me? Let's see. Someone said Channel 19. What does that even mean? Makes me hope it's Cheryl that they found. Makes me hope it's Cheryl that they found. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Oh, Cheryl Coker. Do you have something else on Coker now? Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Like, everything's kind of breaking. Maybe that will be Coker. Yeah. Yeah, Cheryl Coker is what she was talking about. Because the other day, there was a body found a 2-hour drive on a direct line right from where she went missing. We covered that a couple nights ago. So if you're new to the channel, I mean, we basically cover all kinds of crimes in the news and cold cases and so forth. And so sometimes it might be hard to keep up, but you could always go back and watch what we were talking about in other shows. Yeah. Okay, I got to do this serial killer thing now because it's crazy. All right? You guys mind? I mean, I don't really have any more to say about these, but I thought I'd play those and mention those first because those have been cases we've been following. All right, you guys interested in this? Because it's pretty wild. Okay. So check this out. This is back in 1976. Cops hunt killer in Lyle murder. Police still have no suspects yesterday morning in the Monday night strangulation murder of 16-year-old Woodridge girl. The body of Pamela Moore at 7638 Butternut Court, a Downers Grove South High School junior, was found Tuesday at 7:25 a.m. on College Road, 2 miles north of Hobson Road. So I actually have all this mapped out. And it was readily available just before I went on air, but because of the breaking news aspect of everything, I had to switch where I was. All right, here, I'm going to go back over there. So you have this girl who was killed, and it's pretty crazy. It makes you think like anybody can get killed at any time based on how this worked. All right, I'm going to go to the, let me just keep reading through this one. Hold on. Her mother Betty reported the girl missing to Woodridge police at 11:45 p.m. When she failed to return home, the coroner's report stated that Miss Moore had been strangled around 10:30 p.m. And that's wild, the timing here, because right up here it says, according to police, Miss Moore left home at 9:45 p.m. Monday to go to a restaurant about 1 mile from her home. Let's see. And then she actually went over to a friend's house, and then I guess went over to a boyfriend's house, and then right after she leaves the boyfriend's house, which is 2 blocks from her house, she's never seen alive again. It's unreal. Let me show you the map of this right here. So here's where she went at 9:45, I guess, and then they went out to get something to eat. And then she goes over here, and that girl's name was Kathy Robertson. And then On the way back, there was three people total at that house. And then when she comes back, I guess she went over to Dale Denham's house right here, and she lives just right here. I mean, imagine that. This little short walk right there, and that's around 9:45-ish, 10 o'clock. And then she's never seen alive again, and then they find her body right here. And it was so bizarre today. I just was looking at a news article that's recent, and it showed where the body was found, and I just dropped a pin on the Google Earth, and it was the exact same spot. So I just got pure luck right there. But anyways, looking at this, her body was found right here. A driver drove by, saw a purse, and then saw a body. Let's see. The strangulation murder of Pamela Moore, 16, whose body was found in Lisle Tuesday, are circulating a composite drawing and description of a man wanted for questioning. Richard Doria, chief of DuPage County Sheriff's Office, said a white man, about 25 years old and 5 foot 9 inches, was described to police by a woman who said she rejected his offer of a ride. As the man asked her to model for him, the woman said she noticed a white bundle in the front seat of his late model Mercury Capri. The incident, she said, occurred at approximately 11:45 p.m. Monday. Wow. About the time police believe that the Moore girl at 7638 Butternut Court, Woodridge, was slain. Okay, right here is where it explains the movements that night better. It actually says that. Miss Moore's movements have been traced to 9:45 p.m. Monday, when she left the home of the friend Kathy Robertson, 2527 Crabtree Street. So that's when she left that house, where she had gone with another friend, Dale Denham, 18, of 7648 Drive. So now if we were to read this today, you'd go, oh my God, that guy probably has something to do with it. I mean, my God, it was right there. All right, the two friends said Miss Moore left to buy a soft drink at McDonald's. So I guess they were still all hanging out together. And there was a McDonald's, which is right there. It's not far away from her house. So she went to go get a soft drink at McDonald's, but police wondered if she'd went to a different store. They don't really know for sure. So she went to get a soft drink at McDonald's about 2 blocks away. Looked a little bit more than 2 blocks. Worth said investigators were inquiring to see if the girl may have gone for soft drink at a laundromat or food store located within a block of the restaurant. Okay. Then this is the breaking news today, actually. Likely serial killer identified in the 1976 murder of Pamela Moore. And this is an article from January 13th, which is today. It's been exactly 44 years since 16-year-old Pamela Moore was found sexually assaulted and murdered near the intersection of College Road and Maple Avenue in Lisle. Decades later, authorities have finally identified the killer, a man they believe was a likely serial killer responsible for other deaths between 74 and 81. Moore of Woodridge was reported missing on January 12, 1976. After leaving a friend's house, her body was later found on the side of the road by a passing driver who initially spotted her purse. Moore's body had been left outside a guardrail. I don't think that's there anymore. That was a long time ago. Making it appear as if she had been hit by a car. The DuPage County coroner later determined that Moore had died of strangulation. Police also found a 3-foot-length rubber hose not far from Moore's body, according to the Chicago Tribune. And that's actually in one of the old newspaper articles, too, that they wanted to see who bought that hose. Now, let me play this.
Bourbon cold case. DuPage County authorities say they've solved the murder of
This is
Pamela
5
Mauer.
Chicago.
She was a Woodridge teenager found alongside a road in Lisle in 1976. But we've learned that she wasn't the only victim of this suspect. Charlie Wojciechowski's live in Lisle with more for us. Charlie.
Well, Marion, it wasn't common back in 1976 for police to save DNA evidence, let alone collect it. But that's what happened in this case, and through a combination of DNA and determination by the Lisle Police Department, they not only solved this case, but they think they may have solved more. Pamela Mauer was only 16 years old when her body was found strangled here along College Road near Maple in Lisle back in...
See, look how weird this is. See, I was just looking at that and I go, huh, wow. Okay, so notice this clump of trees and then this tree right there. This is just a wintertime shot, right? You can, let me just play it.
1976.
Yeah. All right, and then I went on Google Earth and I knew the general location. So originally I had a pin somewhere else and I said, oh, okay, let me see, maybe right there. And then look at this. Look how weird this is. As a matter of fact, I'll just click on the, let's see, where is that? Right there, and it'll go to Street View, because that's where when I put the pin. I guess it didn't do that, but let's see. I'll go right down to Street View, right on top of that pin. And then you'll see, I mean, it was just a miracle. See, there's the one tree, and this is the clump of trees right there. And that was exactly what was in the... It's just a different time of year.
Despite an extensive investigation, the Downers Grove South student's murder had not been solved until now.
They identified a person of interest, Bruce Lindahl, who was deceased.
But authorities say Mauer may not have been his only victim. DNA recovered after Lindahl's body was exhumed late last year also linked him to the murder of Deborah Coliander, a woman he was accused of raping in June of 1980, as well as the death of Waubonsee High School senior Charles Huber, who was stabbed 28 times a year later.
These specimens were the critical final piece of evidence that allowed us to complete this investigation.
According to the DuPage County State's Attorney,
look at this. Look how
Mauer's
similar.
was the first in Illinois.
See, a lot of times that snapshot doesn't work very well, but this guy, this time it's a clone.
To be solved by investigative genealogy, DNA evidence that prosecutors hope to link to more crimes.
We are seeking information from the public that may be related to the disappearance of Deborah McCall.
I suspect him to be a serial killer. We know he killed Huber. We suspect with good reason that he killed Coliander. We know he killed Pam Mauer.
For Mauer's friend, Cindy Evans, this was a day she thought would never come.
I was praying, and I'm so glad, and that's why I'm here today.
Now, as you heard, Lindahl is deceased in this case. According to police, he died when he stabbed himself in the femoral artery while he was fighting with Charles Huber. He then bled to death on...
See, isn't that amazing? Like, his last kill, he stabbed himself in the leg and died.
The scene. Of course, police are still investigating his DNA profile, and they're looking for more cases that it may be linked to here in the DuPage County area. Reporting live in Lisle, Charlie Wojciechowski, NBC 5 News.
Some remarkable new techniques. Thank you so much, Charlie. And authorities tell us the key to identifying Lindahl was sophisticated DNA technology. It's called DNA phenotyping, and it helps determine a number of traits like facial shape and eye color to create a sketch. So this is actually the first case solved in Illinois using this process.
Look how good that is.
Look at the side-by-side comparisons of the sketches versus the photo of the killer, Bruce Lindahl.
That was before.
The resemblance between the snapshot composite and Bruce Lindahl is uncanny.
The DNA experts also turned to a public genealogy database to build a family tree. Those databases are increasingly being used by police to solve crimes.
That's right. And see, here's what I think, everybody. I think that every single person that gets that's sentenced and convicted of a crime of any kind should be required to have their DNA uploaded into GEDmatch, and that way and law enforcement has access to that, and you'd have millions of people in there. And the thing is crimes are, have some association with genetics, and there's no reason we can't do that. You're already collecting a lot of their DNA for CODIS, but screw that. Okay, put it into GEDmatch, or do two different samples. You know, they have to give one to CODIS and one to a law enforcement database for GEDmatch. Okay? Or maybe it should just be public, but they're also put on there in there as well. But law enforcement then has a huge database to work with. Okay? That's my idea. I brought that up to Colleen Fitzpatrick, and she said, you know, that's a pretty good idea right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let me show you this next article. It's regarding that incident. Listen to this. 2 men found stabbed to death in Naperville. 2 men were found stabbed to death in the living room of a Naperville apartment early Saturday morning, according to police in the far west suburb. The 2 were identified as Bruce Lindahl, 28, of Aurora, and Charles Hubert, 38, of 5S219 Allister Lane. I actually have those locations too. Let me get those. Yeah. So Charles Huber lived right there, and Bruce Lindahl lived there in 1981. He lived here. I don't know if he lived there at the time, but let's just take a look at it. So 1981, the serial killer. Look at this house. I mean, if you were going to try to not be noticed by a soul anywhere, you'd probably live in that one. Well, hold on. Let me see. Let me get the right one here. Yeah, Bruce Lindahl. Just a second. It's just really just a basic house, right? I think that's the right one. It looks different than my mind was remembering it. Okay, that's where he lived, all right? And then where he killed the person, Charles Huber's house. Charles Huber lived right here. And that's where Charles Huber lived, where he was stabbed 28 times. It looked like Jodi Arias's incarnation, or reverse, I guess. Naperville Police Lieutenant John Ripsky said investigators have not found a motive. Well, you rarely ever find one with serial killers. You know, you can get a sexual motive. And here's one of the interesting things is the Pamela Moore. There isn't one article that mentions sexual assault once. They said it doesn't appear she was sexually assaulted. They kept saying that over and over again. I think they were actually hiding that because it turns out later she was sexually assaulted, and the police were able to keep her DNA all those years, and it led right to this guy. The bodies were discovered by a Worthian, I don't even know what that's saying. There's like dots all over. A woman, excuse me. There was like a woman who rents the first floor apartment at 10041 in Ogden Avenue, where they were found, according to Lieutenant Ripsky. The woman, whom he declined to identify, was a friend of Lindahl, he said. Investigators said there were signs of a struggle in the apartment living room. They said a 6-inch knife apparently used in the stabbing was found near the bodies. The 2 were pronounced dead at the scene. Yeah, that is definitely karma right there. Let's see. One of 2 men found dead in a Naperville apartment this weekend apparently stabbed the other to death with a 6-inch knife, but apparently severed an artery in his leg during the struggle and bled to death. That's amazing. During the frenzy in the assault, he said, it appears Lindahl accidentally struck himself with the knife, inflicting a fatal wound. Isn't that crazy? He stabbed the other guy 28 times to kill him, but just one stab to him took him out. An artery was severed in the right leg, and Lindahl bled to death. Ripsky said no motive had been established, and police also were attempting to determine the relationship between the 2 men. Ripsky said Huber, an employee at Red Lobster Inn in Aurora, and Lindahl were believed to have been together at the Gala West bowling lanes in Naperville Friday night. It is possible they knew each other before that. Police said Lindahl was a former teacher of small engine repair and Mid-Valley Vocation Center in Canville. He had been on leave of absence since January and resigned last month. The bodies were found at 1:45 a.m. Saturday by a female friend of Lindahl who lived in the Ogden Avenue apartment. Ripsky said there appeared to be no connection between the deaths and the disappearance of the woman Lindahl was charged with raping last summer. Lindahl allegedly accused the 26-year-old woman as she accosted the 26-year-old woman as she walked through the Northgate Shopping Center in Aurora June 23rd, forced her to his apartment and raped her. Yeah, so he's like a serial raper and a serial killer. So that's amazing. I mean, that one, I just thought it was incredible. After all those years, and they actually did have the DNA that whole time, they just kind of kept it private. Oh, there they go. There goes the fighting. Chloe and Blue. Yeah, so they were able to use DNA. I think they used Parabon. So probably CC Moore was involved with that one. But yeah, pretty crazy, everybody. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And we cover cases all the time. I'm going to be back on a little bit later. But I just wanted to get this out there and give you those updates really quick, all right? And there's Blue and Chloe fighting on the ground, but you can't really see them. There they go, right there. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming over that short one. And everybody who, I think there's a few people that, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Mimi and Angel Donmoyer. And thank you, Shelly Ann, for the super chat. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, well, I'll come back on a little bit later and we'll see what kind of breaking news we can get. I mean, there's so much stuff going on right now, it's almost mind-boggling. So, that's it, everybody. So until next time, be safe out there.